Ladies and gentlemen, the Pleb is back. In today's report, I have massive news for you guys here, as Pierre Poilievre has officially come out against puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for children. As well, tonight, Elon Musk shows Pierre Poilievre's support yesterday as Pierre Poilievre announces the Toronto Star want to write a ridiculous hit piece on him. As well, Justin Trudeau storms out of Parliament like a giant baby after getting owned by Pierre Poilievre. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Before we start the report, just want to say thank you to everyone who's being vigilant and double checking that they are still subscribed. For whatever reason, YouTube is mass unsubscribing a lot of you people, but clearly you're not letting them win. You are fighting back and this channel is growing. And if you're not subscribed, this channel will show you the news that the mainstream media is trying to hide from you. So if you want to know the truth, smash subscribe and let's start the report. Tonight's story is going to kick off with Pierre Poilievre, who today made a historic statement in front of the media. Now, the last couple of days, the media have been like rabid dogs on Pierre Poilievre, trying to figure out where does he stand on puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for children. And today, Pierre Poilievre answered this question and became the absolute hero that Canada needs. I'm so excited to share this video with you guys here. This is literally history in the making. This is amazing. Okay, oh man, start it.
Do you support age restrictions for puberty blockers and hormone therapies for trans kids?
I think that Justin Trudeau is trying to divide and distract Canadians by spreading disinformation about the decisions that premiers and parents are making.
I want to know
What do you think? What do you think?
I want to know your position.
What is your own party policy? It's your own party policy.
Man, you hear these reporters are like rabid dogs on him. These parliamentary reporters are rabid dogs. Listen to them.
What do you think?
I want to know your position.
What is your own party policy? It's your own party policy. At party
I think we
convention.
should protect the rights of parents to make their own decisions.
What does it mean?
With regards to their children. And I believe that adults should have the freedom to make any decision they want about their bodies.
With minors,
I think
ban surgeries and medical interventions for minors, as your own party members suggested.
Medical interventions like what?
That is the language that your party
What medical
used.
interventions?
Well, you would have to ask your party members.
What medical interventions?
Such as puberty blockers and hormone
For minors?
Yeah. Yes.
Irreversible? You're talking about irreversible?
I would like to understand your
I just want to be clear. No, I want to be clear. I just want to be
For
clear.
minors.
Puberty blockers for minors?
Do you agree with that?
Do you agree with that?
I think that we should protect children and
What
their
does that
ability
mean?
to make adult decisions when they're adults.
So you
And that
think
would affect-
only adults should make the, you said yes? Just to be clear, you said yes, only adults should take puberty blockers?
I think we should protect children, let them make adult decisions when they become adults.
So that
you do support age
so that means
restrictions?
you are against puberty blockers for kids under the age of 18. Is that
Yes.
unclear? Okay. What about? Can I ask you about in Alberta?
By the way, I just want to make another comment on this. Justin Trudeau is again puffing out his chest, trying to divide Canadians and attack parents who are trying to protect their kids. He will, in the end, back down on this, just like he had to back down on his firearms policy, just like he had to back down on bringing in medical assistance in dying for people suffering from mental illness. Just like he's backing down again and again and again, he will back down on this because he is not interested in protecting kids. He's interested in using this as a divisive wedge to distract from doubling housing costs and quadrupling carbon taxes on our people.
But so you're against puberty blockers for kids under the age of 18. What about opting?
Yes, I am.
What about parents in Alberta having to opt in for sex ed? Where do you stand
every
on that?
lesson.
No, that's a decision for the province.
No, but what do you think?
Wow. Okay. Pierre Poilievre is doing the right thing here. And I truly believe that he always had this position. And I got to give Pierre respect for having the courage to come out and say the right thing in face of a rabid media. You saw these people, they're like dogs on him, and they are going to attack him for this. But he had the courage to do the right thing. Absolutely beautiful. Pierre Poilievre for Prime Minister. Let's bring it home. And I want to make one more point here. Isn't it absolutely insane that we live in a world where this is debatable? Like kids doing irreversible damage to their body is something that is even up for debate. Like, this is a crazy, crazy world we live in right now. And I'm just so happy to start seeing more common sense and more sanity brought back to Canada. This is what we need. And in that same scrum, Pierre Poilievre was once again attacked by rabid dog journalists in the parliamentary precinct over his refusal to sign the Ukraine free trade agreement. Watch the media lose their minds on him. All right, looking slick, Pierre. The hair's looking good today, bud.
The Ukraine free trade deal if you become prime minister?
We brought in the Ukraine free trade deal.
The new one, the new version.
There is no new one. What there is
it was just passed in the House of Commons yesterday.
If I could, what there is a carbon tax amendment. You know what happened if this deal didn't pass? Nothing. Because we already have a free trade agreement. What we have now is a carbon tax amendment to a pre-existing deal.
So what would you do if you become prime minister?
We're not going to honor a carbon tax amendment.
But your supporters already don't like the carbon tax. Why don't they support Ukraine?
They don't,
because
they don't support the carbon tax.
So you think that all of their support, their declining support for Ukraine is linked solely to the carbon tax in this free trade deal?
The carbon tax was inserted by Justin Trudeau, not by my supporters. Why did he do that? No, but I'm just curious. Can you explain to me why there is a carbon tax in the agreement?
No, but the question is why.
No, I asked you a question. You keep asking what the agreement is.
We're the journalists.
I have the freedom to ask questions if I want to, and I've just answered. I've been answering your questions all week.
Here's another one.
So no,
the government's introducing
why would they do a
investment
carbon
tax
tax?
credit.
You're not changing the subject. I know you want to change the subject.
No, I want to ask
because you don't want to talk about Trudeau's carbon tax.
I want to ask a question because in a democracy we ask the question and you answer.
Shut up, cuck.
I decide the answer I give, and the answer is this: we will axe the tax, and Trudeau can try to divide Canadians by putting a carbon tax in a free trade agreement that we already had for years. It won't change a thing.
It's misleading.
Because I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax with delight and with passion and with incredible speed. So when I'm Prime Minister, you will be shocked at the speed with which I will axe the tax.
Let's go.
And the Canadian people will be able to look up at the gas stations and see the prices coming down. And Trudeau can try to distract from his hated carbon tax by putting it in a free trade amendment to a pre-existing agreement. It won't stop me because I will axe the tax, I will axe the tax, and I will axe the tax. Thank you.
Boom. And speaking on the topic of Ukraine and support for Ukraine, guess what news we found out this week? That Justin Trudeau was directly responsible for inviting that Nazi to Parliament. Now, they threw the Speaker of the House underneath the bus for this, but it was Trudeau himself who invited him, and Pierre Poilievre calls him out for it.
Well, we now learn that Justin Trudeau was lying again. He told us that bringing the former Nazi to the Ukrainian president's visit was all the Speaker's fault.
The facts are well known here.
Liar.
The Speaker issued the invitation, delivered the recognition, and has taken full responsibility.
It had nothing to do with him. His office didn't even know about it, he claimed. Well, now we know that that was exactly false. His office issued an invite to the former Nazi to go to a Ukrainian president event.
Wow, the receipts are right here from the PMO. Dear Yaroslav Honka, the Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada, is pleased to invite you to a special event. Wow.
Now, Justin Trudeau said that the Speaker of the House of Commons should resign for having invited the former Nazi to the Ukrainian president's event. Does that mean that Trudeau will apply the same demand to himself?
Right.
Is Justin Trudeau going to call on himself to resign? Or is this just another example of where he's above the rules that he applies to everyone else? I'm sure it is, because Justin Trudeau is a hypocrite. He is a fake. He embarrassed us all around the world with this incident, and then he lied about it to cover it up and threw a colleague under the bus to take the blame. Justin Trudeau is not worth the cost. He is not worth the embarrassment. After 8 years, it's time to fire him.
And in the House of Commons, Pierre Poilievre grills Justin Trudeau over inviting a Nazi to Parliament, and Trudeau has an emotional freakout and acts unhinged as usual. He's such a baby.
Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
He's hiked the cost, he's hiked the crime, he's not worth the cost, and he's not worth the crime after 8 years. He's also not worth the hypocrisy. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has been claiming for months that he had no involvement in or knowledge of the invitation of a former Nazi soldier to the visit of the Ukrainian president. Now we know that he personally invited that same individual. He actually said the opposite, and he said that the former speaker had to resign over doing the exact same thing. So will he hold himself to the very same standard and admit that he's not fit for office?
He's such a scumbag liar. It's truly unbelievable.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
The attacks that the Leader of the Opposition is choosing to make against the Ukrainian-Canadian Congress demonstrates the extent to which this Conservative Party no longer stands with Ukraine. They have an opportunity in just a few minutes, Mr. Speaker, to stand and vote in favor of a free trade deal that Volodymyr Zelensky himself is asking this House to pass.
Who do you work for? That Volodymyr Zelensky himself is asking this House to pass. We don't work for Volodymyr Zelensky, okay? He's not our leader. Why are you adhering to his demands? Volodymyr Zelensky himself is demanding this. Fuck off.
Zelensky himself is asking this House to pass, and he is choosing to not stand with Ukraine, not stand with Ukrainians, and not stand with Ukrainian Canadians. Why are they abandoning Ukraine?
What a loser. What a loser. What an unhinged lunatic Justin Trudeau is, coming out and saying, oh, this is what Zelensky is demanding. I don't give a shit about Zelensky. I never elected this guy. I care about Canadians and I care about Canada, and that's it. And look what a baby Justin Trudeau is. I mean, he only lasted 11 minutes and 10 seconds in question period, okay? This is what a baby is. He gets owned by Pierre and then he storms off. What a clown. In our next story, we're just going to continue here on the topic of the Canadian media being unhinged, as Pierre Poilievre yesterday announces that the Toronto Star are going to write a hit piece on him over the fact that his wife bought a $300 splash pool that she paid for herself and they put up themselves. As well, they're going to write a hit piece on him because over at Stoneway, the NCC is installing a security fence to protect his young children. And in a shocking development here over this story, and upon hearing about it, Elon Musk comes out and responds to Pierre Poilievre saying, the Toronto Star has become Canada's Pravda. So Elon Musk comes out to support Pierre Poilievre and trash our garbage media here in Canada. You love to see it. I mean, our media is so ridiculous, and David Jacobs really nails it here with this post here. Which one of these do you think is more relatable to Canadians? Pierre installing a $300 pool. By the way, this is a pool that poor people have in their backyards. Okay, there's nothing fancy about a $300 pool. Or Justin Trudeau going on a private beach in Jamaica, a free $84,000 vacation, and not a zip from the media on that. The hypocrisy never ends. But there is a silver lining at the end of this story here, as the Toronto Star is now a penny stock. It's failing. It's trash. Nobody wants to invest in this. And they are so pathetic and failing so hard that they need the government to give them money to survive. How about the Toronto Star start doing some actual honest journalism? Maybe their stock price will turn around, but I don't expect it. And in our next scoop of the night here, I just received this on my desk here from Daisy Media, as it appears that Justin Trudeau's office has been covered in paint. Now, you're asking yourself, Pleb, who did this? Well, I got an answer for you. Daisy Media is reporting here that it was environmental activists who threw paint all over Justin Trudeau's office. The moral of the story here is you cannot give these leftards an inch. They will attack their own. They'll attack you eventually. They'll turn on you. Just listen to Javier Milei explain it brilliantly.
Al zurdo de mierda no le podés dar ni un milímetro.
Pero ¿me podés definir zurdo de mierda que no
Todos
lo
los que, digamos, los colectivistas, los que ponen, digamos, o sea, esa idea... A ver,
¿por qué le pones de mierda, digamos?
Porque son una mierda. O sea,
vos mezclás,
no,
pero
es que si pensás, pero si pensás distinto te van a aniquilar. Ese es el punto. Es decir, vos al zurdo no le podés dar un milímetro, porque le das un milímetro y lo toma para destrozarte. Es decir, digamos, o sea, vos no podés negociar con el zurdo. No se negocia. No se negocia con esa mierda, no se negocia porque te van a llevar.
You should listen to Javier Milei, Justin, because this guy is an absolute genius. In our last story of the night here, I have a funny one for you guys here. We'll end off the show with this. But yesterday, I got blocked by a journalist, a conservative journalist, for the most ridiculous reason ever. Now, I'm going to show you guys something here. I got blocked yesterday on X by Spencer Fernando for replying to him with a Canadian flag. Look at this. He posts a picture of the Ukraine flag, and all I did was respond with a Canadian flag, and I got blocked for it. Is that not ridiculous? Now, after announcing to you guys that I got blocked for the most absurd reason of all time on X, apparently my followers went and started spamming underneath his post with Canadian flags. And just an FYI, I never asked my followers to do this, but man, did they ever. I did a screen recording on this one. Look at this. Let's play some sad music for Ukraine boy. Look at this. Look at all these Canadian flags. You guys are hilarious. You guys are so funny, man. And just look at this ratio here. 77 likes, 404 comments, okay? The bozo got ratioed really hard. And I put a ratio on Spencer Fernando, okay? Look at this. 772 likes on the Canadian flag versus 72 on the Ukraine flag. Absolutely beautiful. And I've gotten multiple reports here that people who are responding to Spencer Fernando with a Canadian flag are getting blocked on X. How absurd. All right, guys, that is a wrap here for today's video, but I have to ask you this super important question. Do you guys support Pierre Poilievre being against puberty blockers and sex change surgeries for kids 17 and under? I really want to know in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed today's report, make sure to like this video so YouTube pushes it out to more people. Share it with your friends. Tell your friends about the Pleb Reporter on YouTube. And if you want to support my journalism, you could buy a membership to this channel for only $5 Canadian. My name is the Pleb. This was your Tuesday report. I'll see you at the next one. Peace.